We hit 15k, guys. I could cry right now. I'm so surprised at how well everyone's treating me and like how quickly we've grown, and everybody's like just hyping me up. It's so nice. You guys are like the coolest people I've ever met. Thank you so much. And today we are reacting to 10 people who vanished without a trace, just by the way. And they're still unsolved. I thought this would be a fun video to watch because I don't know why, but I'm like delusional. So whenever I see cases that are unsolved, I'm like, I can solve that. Maybe we find answers. I'm still a bit sick, so I know you guys have been sending me some requests. I'm gonna do them when I get better, just because I feel like I can't give like 100% out of me right now. And when I do your requests, I want to do the best that I can. So yeah, thank you for your patience as well on that. And let's get into the video.
This video is brought to you by Shelby Oaks, in theaters October 24th.
Even Springfield police were baffled by the disappearance.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the most frightening and unsettling disappearance cases that remain unsolved to this day.
But investigators aren't giving up.
Benjamin Bathurst. For centuries now, the disappearance of Benjamin Bathurst was viewed as an almost supernatural occurrence. The British diplomat was in Prussia during the Napoleonic Wars, traveling with his courier, Herr Krause. The story goes that Bathurst and Krause stopped at an inn to wait for new horses. When told that they were ready, Bathurst left the inn, followed shortly behind by Krause. But when Krause got outside mere seconds later, Bathurst was gone. His disappearance quickly became fodder for speculative fiction, the sudden nature of it leading to many fanciful ideas. However, modern historians believe that this story is highly exaggerated and that it's very likely that Bathurst was murdered. Prussia was plagued by highway thieves.
I mean, if you're in the middle of war as well,
And that it's very likely that Bathurst was murdered. Prussia was plagued by highway thieves at the time, and the diplomat wore expensive clothing.
I think he went back to wherever it was he did come from. Because when we got to the top of the hill, he just disappeared.
Shelly Miscavige.
Shelly is the high priestess of Scientology who vanished 13 years ago. While the church won't speak of it, the belief is Shelly has been banished to this mountain prison by her husband, the leader of the church, the all-powerful David Miscavige.
Back in 1982, Shelly Barnett married David Miscavige, the future leader of the Church of Scientology. David Miscavige has run the controversial church since 1986, and Shelly often worked behind the scenes as his assistant.
he looks a little bit, Actually, he looks like the nicest guy ever, but usually the ones that look like very nice guys have something really dark behind them.
However, she has not been seen since 2007, leading many to believe that something nefarious is going on. In 2012, attorneys claimed that she was devoting her time to Scientology and no longer wished to appear in public. And the following year, ex-Scientologist Leah Remini filed a missing persons report, but it was closed within hours when the LAPD supposedly found and spoke with Miscavige. Regardless, many
2007, that's pretty recent too.
continue to question the narrative, and the
Sorry, I need to learn how to use these arrows.
found and spoke with
Oh.
Miscavige. Regardless, many continue to question the narrative, and the church has continuously refused to comment on her whereabouts.
What do you think has happened to Shelly?
I don't know. I mean, that's why I filed a police report, missing persons report. It's just, no, you're not getting any answers. We don't have to answer you.
Very odd that the church doesn't say anything and that the police is not looking for them, because if the police got involved as an investigation, they should be able to get some answers from the church, right?
Shelly is fine, and she's alive and well, and that's the PR line.
And do you believe that line?
No, I don't.
The Fort Worth missing trio. Rachel Trelisa, Renee Wilson, and Julianne Mosley were Christmas shopping.
What? So probably the police did some investigation as well, and they found her alive and well, but she's probably being held or something. That is so weird. Wow.
Missing trio. Rachel Trelisa, Renee Wilson, and Julianne Mosley were Christmas shopping in the Fort Worth, Texas Seminary South Shopping Center when they went missing. The girls failed to return to their respective homes, prompting their families to conduct a search.
There's something's happened to him. I know it.
They found Trelisa's car in the parking lot, and it contained multiple gifts, indicating that the girls had returned to the vehicle at some point. Nevertheless, the trio was nowhere to be seen. Trelisa's husband later received a letter presumably written by her, stating that they were, quote, going to Houston to, quote, get away, and they'd be back in about a week. But they never showed up and have remained missing ever since. The families have since cast doubt on the letter's authenticity.
My goal is I would love closure before my mother dies.
Because just like in 1974...
You haven't given up hope, though. No, huh?
Johnny Gosh.
Did you guys see my hair back then? But that is really sad. Every time like children disappear is really sad. But that's really weird too. I mean, doesn't make sense. I feel like that could be a kidnapping or something. Didn't they have like cameras back then though?
Because just like in 1974...
You haven't given up hope, though. No, huh?
Johnny Gosh. On September 5th, 1982, Johnny Gosh, a paperboy in West Des Moines, Iowa, disappeared during his morning paper route.
At first, West Des Moines police treated the disappearance as an abduction and launched a big search that included several law enforcement agencies.
Multiple witnesses reported seeing him speak with a mysterious man in a blue car shortly before he vanished, while another claimed they saw a silver car speeding away near the spot where Gosh's paper wagon was left. The case has since gained widespread publicity, but authorities have made no headway in determining who took Gosh or what became of him. In 1997, his mother Noreen alleged that Gosh visited her briefly with an unidentified man, but left without revealing where he was going.
West Des Moines police officers said that Noreen had told similar stories before, only to recant them later. There were never any witnesses that verified her claim.
The validity of this claim remains in doubt, and despite other unconfirmed sightings, Gosh is still officially missing. Tara Calico. On June 15th, 1989, a woman found a Polaroid photograph.
So he could be maybe found either dead or alive. That is creepy and scary. He kind of looks like every other person you meet, you know? He has kind of like a generic face. So I'm guessing if you saw him in like real life, you wouldn't probably recognize him. But it would be also weird that he wouldn't come out as an adult, you know? Because he probably got his freedom back, I'm guessing. I'm hoping. But I just fear the worst. He looks like a sweet little boy too. That's really sad.
Despite other unconfirmed sightings, Gosh is still officially missing. Tara Calico. On June 15th, 1989, a woman found a Polaroid photograph at a Florida convenience store.
The nationwide frenzy brings a second family into the spotlight.
The mothers of Mike and Tara were strangers only a week ago. Now they're brought together in a common cause, a national effort to find their missing children.
The picture showed a young woman and a boy, both bound and gagged, seemingly in the back of a van. Many believed the woman to be Tara Calico, who had vanished nearly 1 year earlier during her routine bike ride near her home in Belen, New Mexico. Neither she nor her bike were found, and authorities only recovered pieces of her Sony Walkman and a cassette tape along the trail. While Scotland Yard identified the woman in the picture as Calico, an FBI analysis proved inconclusive. Her whereabouts remain a mystery, but in 2023, the Valencia County Sheriff's Office announced new leads in the case.
Right now, a team is working to go through 3 decades worth of police files. In order to sign off on charges, they have to rule out the laundry list of suspects who were named over the years. There's no hard timeline on when or if charges will be filed.
Asha Degree. After putting their daughter Asha to bed on February 13, 2000, Harold and Aquila Degree woke up the next morning to find her missing.
Investigators at the time had reason to believe that she took some items with her out of the house and that she left the house and walked south on Highway 18 toward the city of Shelby.
There were no signs of forced entry, and Asha's brother O'Brien was asleep in his own bed.
I kind of remember something from this. Did they solve this case or not? Because I somehow remember that she might be, she might have passed. And that the brother saw something, or a sister took her, or I don't remember, but maybe.
Strangely, it seemed she had packed a bag and simply walked out of the house. Around 4 a.m., several motorists spotted her walking along a highway alone, and when one approached her, she fled into the woods, never to be seen again. Months later, Asha's bag was found at a construction site, containing items that didn't belong to her. For years, the case yielded no significant leads, until September 2024, when authorities classified her disappearance as a homicide and named 2 suspects.
It's important here we know that no one has been charged. Investigators took DNA from Roy and Connie Deadman. They also took a green car and several other items, including a camera, computers, and phones.
Maura Murray. On February 9th, 2004, Murray, a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, emailed her professors claiming there'd been a death in the family.
It is a real mystery. 1 minute she's here, 1 minute she's not, and there's just so many theories.
Her parents have since stated that no such death occurred. She looked into hotels in Vermont, loaded her car with clothing and toiletries, and packed up her belongings in boxes. After leaving campus, she purchased alcohol and withdrew $280 from an ATM. Murray crashed her car around 7 p.m. that night, and when police arrived at 7:45, she was nowhere to be found.
There was no injury, so they searched on foot and in vehicles. Basically what they were looking for was a person walking, or B, footprints in the snow. They found.
I mean, that is a bit odd. If she had a past to be prone to kind of leave, then maybe. But if she didn't do that before, she looked like such a nice girl, then this is very weird.
Looking for was a person walking, or B, footprints in the snow. They found none.
The responding officer found a few suspect items in the car, including driving directions to Vermont and blank accident report forms. Of Murray herself, there was and has been no trace.
All I have left is the public, because I'm not getting any help anywhere else. I'm asking for help for my daughter.
The Springfield Three. This missing persons case, in which Cheryl Levitt, Stacy McCall, and Susie Streeter all disappeared, has remained unsolved since 1992. The story begins at Levitt's home in Springfield, Missouri, where the women spent the night after attending high school graduation parties.
The girls leave the party just after 2 a.m. Cops believe Stacy and Susie walked through the front door of Cheryl's house on Delmar Street about 15 minutes later. That's where the mystery begins.
When a friend arrived at the house the next morning, all 3 were missing, despite their cars being parked outside.
Authorities say there was no sign of a struggle. In fact, the front door was unlocked, the TV was on, their clothes were still there, their purses and personal items untouched.
The friend found a broken porch light, and she reportedly received an obscene phone call while there. Levitt's dog was also visibly agitated. When McCall's mother later arrived to investigate, she found a, quote, strange message on the answering machine. But this was accidentally deleted.
It was a brief call, and the person didn't identify themselves. It was a male voice that made sexual innuendos, and she hung up, and immediately received a second call with also making sexual overtones.
Unfortunately, the crime scene was so badly contaminated that it prevented a proper investigation.
But until then, these families will continue to live one day at a time, hoping for the best, but knowing the worst could be just around the corner.
Amelia Earhart. If there's one unsolved story...
That is so scary. Okay. Wow, wow. And they still haven't found them? I wonder what happened to them. Poor girls.
Be just around the corner.
Amelia Earhart. If there's one unsolved story more popular than that of D.B. Cooper, it's that of Amelia Earhart. Earhart was a popular and renowned aviator and the first woman to fly solo over the Atlantic.
The magnificent thing about Amelia is that in the eyes of the world, she never died. Her fear never witnessed, her failure never recorded.
In 1937, she and navigator Fred Noonan attempted to circumnavigate the globe. However, they disappeared over the Pacific near Hawaii and were never heard from again.
This grainy film records the last time Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan are ever seen alive.
Countless theories have been put forth regarding their ultimate fate, but no consensus has ever been made.
Not a trace of wreckage was found floating.
There was no Mayday call. There was no distress call.
For 70 years, investigators have been trying to solve the Earhart enigma.
It's most likely that Earhart and Noonan ran out of fuel and crashed into the Pacific while desperately looking for Howland Island. It's a boring answer, but the most realistic often are. The Sodders. A devastating fire erupted in the Sodder household on Christmas Eve.
Isn't there like some triangle in the ocean where like a lot of planes disappear?
1945. The Sodder parents and 4 of their 9 children escaped, but the other 5 weren't so lucky. The easy theory is that the children died in the fire, but the story contains many twists that cast some doubt. No evidence of the bodies was ever found. Furthermore, Patriarch George Sodder spoke negatively about his then-fascist native Italy, prompting a theory that the Sicilian mafia had burned the house and kidnapped the children. Years later, a photo of an older man was mailed to the Sodders, purportedly depicting a now-grown Lewis. They agreed that the man harbored a resemblance to their missing child, and they both held on to this hope until their deaths. Which of these cases do you hope gets solved?
I saw this case in another video, in one of the scary videos we did. And I was wondering, because all the children were in the house while it happened, I was kind of like, what if the family did something to them? Because they would surely see them come out the house. And when they go outside, like, wouldn't they see there's people? Or, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Let us know in the comments, and watch Shelby Oaks in theaters October 24th.
These are definitely all super eerie. And super sad as well. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I thought this would be, like, interesting to watch because you would find answers. But honestly, most of these cases are, like, just kind of you think is the worst. Especially, like, this little kid, for example. Look at her face. I cannot. That is so sad. Like, my heart aches. I wonder what these people had to go through. Wow, that was a tough video. But thank you for joining me for this video. Please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below if you found answers or if you know something. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.